Okay, this is going to be a short introduction video to converting between fractions, decimals, and percentages, and what the topic really is all about. So let's get into it. It is just saying that we can use fractions, decimals, and percentages to represent the same value, and there might be some already that you're familiar with. So these ones in the table below, you might have already seen before, and if you haven't seen them before, I would recommend you make a note between them. But what we're going to be looking at in later videos is looking at converting between more difficult variations. But the ones that hopefully we are roughly familiar with, for example, is knowing that a fraction of a quarter, 1/4, is the same thing as a decimal, as 0.25, and as a percentage, 25%. So all of these things, right, they mean exactly the same thing. They're just written in different formats, as a fraction, as a percentage, decimal, sorry, and as a percentage. So another one that you might be familiar with is a fraction of a third, 1/3, as a decimal is 0.33333, or 0.3 recurring, which as a percentage is 33.33%. And now maybe you're thinking, okay, you might know some other ones, such as perhaps a half, which is 0.5 as a decimal, or 50% as a percentage. Okay, and there's other ones that I'm not going to talk through that you can see on the screen that maybe you are familiar with, and maybe you're not familiar with. But what you could do here is maybe make a note of the ones that you're not so familiar with, and that could be useful for later videos. But really, right, what we're going to be looking at in later videos is if you're given more complex fractions, decimals, and percentages, is how you convert between all of the different formats. Okay, so in summary, we're going to be referring to this triangle in the next series of videos. So for example, if you were given a decimal of 0.2, how would you convert from this decimal into a percentage, for example, to begin with? Well, in summary, and we'll go through this in more detail, of course, in later videos, to get from a decimal to a percentage, you multiply by 100. 0.2 times 100 is equal to 20%. And then to go back from a percentage to a decimal, you do the inverse of timesing by 100, which would be to divide by 100. 20 divided by 100 is 0.2. Now, we can go from a percentage to a fraction. How do we do that? Well, to get from a percentage to a fraction, you do your number on the top. So that would be 20 over 100. Because by definition, 20% means 20 per 100. So it would be 20 per 100. Your number, 20 over 100. And then to go back, sorry, one other thing here, if you do get this 20 over 100, in some cases you can simplify the fraction, which you can do here by dividing by common factor. Okay, the common factor in this case would be to divide by 10 and to divide by 10. 20 divided by 10 is 2, 100 divided by 10 is equal to 10. And then, right, to get back from the fraction into a percentage, the way that you do this is you read the number on top if it is over 100. So as long as your denominator is out of 100, okay, as a percentage, you just read the top number, which is 20. So it would be 20%. Now, to go from a fraction to a decimal down here, the way we do this is we do the top divided by the bottom. So here we're doing 2 divided by 10, which is 0.2. And then to go back from a decimal up to a fraction, you do the number over the place value holder. So in this case, that would be, well, that would be the number, which is 2, okay, over the place value holder. Well, the 2 is in the tenths column, hence it's 2 out of 10. Okay, but of course, in the next videos, we're going through each of these in more detail. And we're going to begin by looking at converting between decimals and percentages. Okay, let's get into that in the next video. Thank you.